here with my dear friend, client, angel, I don't know, just amazing being of light. Jonathan, he is, God, I just want to let him introduce himself because to me, he is just all of that and so much more. And here, really to shine the light of truth and give people access to truth within them. And he has this book coming out called The Pyramid of Presence. And he truly is this. I know there's times that I've communicated with him where I've literally just felt this like pillar of light just come on, grounded on the earth, being like, I am the light. I am here to shine. So my just deep honor and gratitude to you, Jonathan, for showing up, for inspiring people to feel their light, to uplift each other to a new level of light, and really be the change we want to see in the world. So welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, Abby. The gratitude goes both ways. It's symbiotic. I mean, you've been such a pillar for me as far as the light, and just been there. You know, you've been my mentor for the past 8 months, and we've developed a great relationship. You've helped to take me to new levels, really. So the gratitude is it's in my heart as well. And thank you so much. And thank you to Shri and Kira for this, Oneness Talk Radio, where we all get to come together and experience what it means to, we are better together, as they say. They say this a lot because it is really true. We do come together. We are beings who thrive on relationship, communication.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Thank you for having me. And yeah, I'm really excited. Like I could feel that palpable energy in the atmosphere. I went for a walk, and very invigorating in the 20-degree weather, but it felt great. And I'm here ready to share.
I love it. I love it. I'm just remembering something I shared with you. I think it was last week where I literally saw this pyramid like emerge from the earth and come up. And I know that this process has emerged through you as you. So I'm curious about the inspiration, the intuitive activation that you had that actually allowed this information to come through you and share it. So what was that experience of you really activating your intuition?
Yeah, it's a journey. It's been such a journey, and then many activations, right? We walk through many initiations on our path to self-realization, I believe. It doesn't happen overnight. I mean, you do hear stories of people having these major awakenings where maybe they have an accident, or just one morning they wake up and they're awake. But for me, it's been a very gradual process. It's been showing up. And that's where I walk people through, because it is really an embodiment process, right? It's a grounded physical experience through expression. Like, you have to live it to be it, right? And that's what I want to hold for people, so that they can find that, walk through their own pyramid, and then express that to the world, through creativity.
So, Jonathan, can you give an experience of that? So, a way that people can actually connect with their I am presence through this process.
Okay. Yeah, there's many different practices that I've developed, and they're in the book, and they're wonderful. Full color. I walk you through all of that. So you could start with your hands on your heart in a prayer position. Okay, we're acknowledging that vertical pillar of light. But we're also acknowledging a horizontal pillar, right? Because we connect vertically to our I am presence, but we express horizontally, right? So your left arm is your expression of love. It's the pink flame of love. This is the positive. I'm not speaking about like positive and negative as in good and bad, but your left arm, you hold love in your left hand. Your right hand, you hold power, pure potentiality. When they're not equalized, when they're not balanced, there's too much power causes chaos. You have to equalize that power with love. So they come together at the heart in wisdom. So I believe it's just really the first step is really acknowledging that you have these eternal truths within you, that you hold this this fire, this light, they come together at the heart, because your heart is the center of this vertical and horizontal pillar. It's like a longitudinal and latitudinal coordinate. Without one, you wouldn't know where you were. You need both to come together in the middle. This is where the heart is really the anchor of the ascended presence, of the presence I am, and you are the light. And then you can anchor here and turn this prayer position, turn it into a pyramid to hold that. Now you're holding this left and right, positive and negative expression in perfect balance with your arms. And you could feel that light within your heart. And what I like to do is I like to raise it up. You raise it in gratitude. Raise it above your head in gratitude, in recognition of self. And you let the light, the illumination of the divine, the I am, pour down in you and then out through you as an outpouring of creation. That's just a simple recognition and a calling in of that energy.
It's beautiful. I love it. I can feel the actual physical sensations and the alignment, the presence. I literally saw a spark of light fly. And it really is that center of the heart, the cornerstone. I love it. I got to show you something. So this sits on my desk. I'm like, it's a pyramid, right?
A pyramid, beautiful. Yeah.
And it has a little pearl on the top. So I thought of you and I was like, yeah, it's funny how you say perfect balance. I could really feel that power and love balancing in.
And that pearl, when you show me that pearl, I think immediately pearl of wisdom, right? The wisdom from the sun, the wisdom of coming together in power and love. It creates wisdom.
Yeah, it does. Can you hear the wind blowing around the house? It's amazing. It's like, makes me think of in the center, it's like anything can be going around you, but when you come into that place of center, you know the truth. You know what to do next. You're guided.
And that is what I teach people to do, is no matter what's going on around you, you know, we walk through many storms. There's always things going on around us in our lives. And to really navigate that from that heart-centered space, you know, because we can easily, we get this intuitive impulse in our gut. It's very raw and palpable and very strong. And if we don't direct it with the heart, it goes from the gut, it makes a circle. It goes like this, and it goes right to your mind. And then the mind spins. It just spins around. You go in circles. You keep questioning things. But if you don't allow this circle to be connected and you bring that raw energy from the gut to the heart, and then from the heart to the mind, you have that trinity. You have that, I call it the trinity of trust, where you know that you're like perfectly centered, you're perfectly balanced, you're in that pillar of light. You become that. And I teach these in very real ways, and how to apply it in your life practically, because that's what it's all about. It's about, we're embodiment, right? So it's bringing that through embodiment.
Yeah, I just get this image of just the body completely illuminating with just golden light, right? Just streaming that light, being that light. And then your presence touches the earth and touches each person through our hearts, right? So it's like we're connected at that same place, that we're connected within ourselves. We are connected to every other living thing.
We really are. We really are multidimensional beings and connected in this energetic web of life. What we do really does affect each other, and you can feel it too when you go into a room, when you go into somewhere where there's a lot of people. We feel this bouncing of energy, because we are unbeknownst to us in our mind, we're bouncing off of each other. Like this energy is an exchange.
Right.
So that's why it's so important. And what I teach is to become super unwavering in that connection to your own I am presence, where that wisdom comes through pure, and then you're able to walk this earth and affect people in major ways, through your creative expression.
I love that. So, what are some of the other practices in the book that you could share with people to embody more of this, to use it even in form of like creation, right? Like creating from love, creating from presence. Do you have anything that you want to share about that?
Yeah, there's many different pyramids that people walk through on the journey. There's 8 in total, and I call these like the flames of infinity. When they all come together, they form that spiral, that infinity spiral, both up and down and left and right. Um, there's there's many practical ways you can do this, but I always use spoken word, image. You use the power of your mind, spoken
Mhm.
word, and then you use feeling, which the feelings that we always want to apply as we hold these pillars, as we hold these triangles of light. You always hold the emotion of love, because love really is the ocean of everything. So there's different hand gestures that you use. You use them up and down your chakras or your energy centers. So each flame has a specific purpose, right? I call these the sacred fire. Um, there's many different colors that you could use. So you use them all the way up your vertical pillar within the chakras, and they help to activate and move energy.
So, do you want to give an example?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So the first pyramid that we walk through is the one. It's called ask, right? We can't receive help if we don't ask for it. That's asking our family, our friends, but it's also asking, divine and cosmic beings, angelic beings, because there is a presence beyond ourselves that does wish benevolence for us. So that first pyramid we walk through is ask, and the affirmation for that one is I am truth. And you hold this here at your throat, because this is where your power of speech, right? This is where your expression comes into the world through speaking it. So as you're holding this pyramid, you see the color blue just filling it. And I like to use the flames, because that is like the purity of the blue color, right? Like when you think about the fire from the sun, as it reaches us, it gets sort of diminished a little bit, like it as it projects the light out, right? So you hold the flame, because that's like the source, if you will. So you hold this here, and you can speak out loud, I am truth. You could also just hear it in your mind. So you're speaking and you're holding the image at the same time. And there's also other practices within that first pyramid. There's a practice called the golden ball meditation visualization, where you see from your throat connected to your I am in a golden ball fashion. And there's also other affirmations, longer affirmations, that you can use while you do this. And this helps to move energy at the throat chakra, because when we're not expressing from our heart what we truly desire, this chakra gets clamped off. You could hear it in your voice, you could feel it in your throat, your neck. So this is a really great way to connect and bring that expression through speaking.
That's cool. Is there one for the heart? So that's for the throat. Is there a way for the heart? I mean, you kind of already activated it with the first one. Is that pretty
Yeah,
much it? Heart,
yeah,
throat.
there is, and that one, that section of the pyramid, that's called open. So you hold this here, and you could feel it too. Like there's these points on the body, they're perfect. I know that when I was developing this, as I practiced and I felt with my hands, my fingers, where these points were, that they're very real points that you can put your fingers in, like where your rib cage comes together at your heart. there's like this little cavern here. There's a little space right between. It's it's like an A. It forms an A or a pyramid, really. And so you put your fingers right, you nestle it right at that spot. And this is the pink flame of love that you use at your heart. And you hold that image of the pink flame within the heart. And you can speak the words, I am the light of the heart. And there's also longer affirmations that you could use that are in the book, and other visualizations and teachings. Each section has a teaching on cultivating the gift within each pyramid.
I just love feeling that I am the light of the heart. It's just so beautiful. It just makes me happy, you know. And I think that's the other thing, like intuition and truth feel really good. So if you're ever questioning, like, is this intuition or not, like your intuition makes you feel good, like it feels in alignment, right? And so your heart's like, it feels good, right? And in the same token, if it doesn't feel good and you're feeling disconnected, you're going to get feedback. Like, thank God your body's so tuned in. It's like, man, that doesn't feel right, you know? So just listen to your body, listen to your cues.
Exactly. Listening is such a major part of this journey, is to learn to listen to that voice, that voice of benevolence that feels good, right? And that guides you in ways that you're making changes in a good way in your life.
Yeah.
And when we don't channel this creative expression, the mind sort of deposits these energies all over the body, right? You could feel it as arthritis. You could feel it as a knee pain, or any kind of expression of disease. They get deposited over the body, and it's really our responsibility to try to move these, to try to the word is transmute them, to bring light to them and release them, so that we could to reignite that flow of the energy.
That's so true. I love that. Yep. I call it releasing the blocks, but yeah, bring light to it. Exactly what you said, and release it. Yeah, let it go. So the natural life force of love can flow through you. You know, that's really who we all are. Yeah.
And that's what you've helped me do so much through your work. And you do the NLP, which is very, very powerful, because it really does clear the pathways and allow the restoration of that flow, because you're like you're recoding
Yeah.
energy, because
Yep.
we are energetic beings. We're actually in an energetic web, and our body is within that. Like, it's not inside of us, we're within the greater energetic web.
Totally. Yep. The interconnectedness of it. And yeah, NLP. So for those of you that don't know what that stands for, it's neuro linguistic programming. So what it does is it basically trains your nervous system, your unconscious mind, to have positive thought and emotion to then come in alignment with our intuition. Right. So if you have a block, you actually bring in, say you have a block of fear somewhere in your belly, then you want to bring in, okay, what's a resourceful emotion? Right. So then you could bring in love, and that will actually dispel that. Right. So the energy of love can flow all the way through you. And in doing so, you'll create a new belief. So anytime you have a new thought and emotion, you create a new belief. So anybody now, if you're experiencing any block or any tension in your body, you'll recognize it as a block from tension, pain, like Jonathan said, or arthritis, you know, that's an example. So just notice, kind of scan your body. And then as you feel that energy, notice, what is it holding? What does it feel like? Even hold that energy in your hands. You might even want to ask, what does it need? What does this part of you need? And so you'll go into a resourceful emotion. So maybe the fear needs love. And also, I always like to ask, you know, this part of you, like Jonathan then said, it's making deposits, it's carrying information. So what is that part trying to tell you? So for example, arthritis or fear, what is it telling you? Okay, so listen, hear the message, ask what it needs, and then give it a resourceful emotion. And notice how that will actually change the belief. And you'll feel the tension release. You'll feel the flow. And lo and behold, it's in alignment with your intuition. right? And again, kind of coming back to pyramid of presence, which to me is like the embodiment of intuition, right? And the I am presence, that's the power of the universe within you, right? Like Jonathan said, again, the embodiment of it. So, where can you channel that flow of life force energy to create more love in your life and all of those around you? Maybe just ask yourself that, right? Kind of see what comes from your heart.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And when you walk through that first pyramid, it's actually asking yourself as well, like
Yeah.
what are the gifts of what I'm feeling in my body? Like if I really, look at it and want to shift it, what is the gift from that experience? What is the expansion that my being will have when I am able to move that energy and open? That's another section. Open was the heart, expand was the third eye. So there's many different pyramids where we walk through, um, that open us to these gifts that are in our hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just noticing even in this moment, like a feeling of almost like sickness, like a disconnection, right? So anything that's a disconnection from love can make you feel a little sick. It can make you feel like a disease, like your body is kind of like, hey, something isn't in alignment. I'm trying to move you back into alignment. So it's not like pushing something down or making a part of you wrong. It's, again, what I guided you through. What do you need, right? To move back into alignment with love. So,
Right. And more resistance only creates more resistance. If you go to move these things, or if you go to apply anger or frustration to get the energy to move, it's going to amplify it, not transmute it, not dissolve it in the light. Right. It's
right.
applying forgiveness, applying love, compassion. That's the pathway to move the energy and to expand.
So true. I love it. Is there any process you want to lead people through? I just love experiential. I'm like, is there any like forgiveness or love process that comes that you want to bring people through? Up to you.
Sure.
Again, I just kind of
Yeah.
go with the
Yeah.
flow.
Yeah, I do believe we can use the violet flame, and that's at your sacral chakra. So you could hold that pyramid of presence at your sacral chakra, which is right below your navel, right below your belly button. You could actually connect your thumbs right at that navel belly button. I might move back a little bit so you can see me. So you hold your thumbs at that belly button, and when you're down below the heart, the pyramid is this way. It's vertical from the heart above, but from here you hold it like this. And this is where the violet fire can be applied for forgiveness, for transmutation, and really alchemy in your life, meaning transformation, transforming the energy. We talk about moving the energy, reinstating flow. We're transforming it from one state to another. And alchemy back in the day, back in medieval period, and after that, was always thought of as a chemical thing. It's very scientific, but it's also, if you can apply alchemy in this way to your life to initiate transformation. So you apply the violet fire here, and you walk through that pyramid, which is called clean, right? You're cleaning, you're going in, you're taking order of things that need to be brought up, released. And this is also, as above, so below, as within, so without. This pyramid takes you on a journey of looking at your cleaning products, looking at your cosmetics, what you're putting on your skin, what you're exposed to on a daily basis. So that pyramid is that journey. And you could use the affirmation here, I am the flame of freedom, right? Because it's freeing when we're able to release these emotions that we hold on to. It's freeing. You feel invigorated. You should always feel invigorated, renewed whenever you practice, whenever you adopt something. You should never feel, lethargic and tired. There may be a body the body tries to catch up sometimes. There may be an integration period where you're at one point and the body has to just get there, has to meet where that energetic part of you is. And that's an integration period. And then that's normal.
I was just feeling it. It's pretty cool to let the energy shift. And yeah, the transmutation is, you kind of already said, I'm just going to emphasize it a little bit. It's like a transformation, right? So you can feel something as negative, and as you apply love or forgiveness or presence, it can actually shift into something positive, leaving you with an imprint of the gift, right? Like the lesson learned or whatever. So just kind of being with that. Yeah.
Exactly. And the FAST system that I developed, it's an acronym for Flame Activating Systems Transfiguration, because you are activating that flame that you are, that expression of the flame of God that you are, to transfigure or transform your life. And that's why I did that acronym for the FAST system.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love that. And you're so gifted in working with people. I mean, you hold that I am presence. It just allows that, and I know that, you're opening your calendar to work with people more. And so I would love for you to share a way that people can actually be guided through this, for their own personal transformation and journey. I mean, we get to broadcast to so many people, but to actually have you work with somebody one-on-one, I mean, what a gift. So is there a way people can contact you to do private healing sessions with you, these intuitive downloads that you get, and really be able to apply these techniques to whatever's specifically going on with them?
All of the above, yes. So you can email me at jwalchemical, ALCHEMICAL, @gmail.com. And we could set up an intuitive reading. We could set up a healing session through the FAST system. I also am a Reiki master. So I like to combine different modalities. And also I am opening up to do mentorship with people one-on-one, where we will meet weekly, face-to-face via Zoom, and we're going to take the journey together. We're going to walk through these pyramids together, and I'll be your guide on that. So you can reach me there, and you can catch me at Facebook, JW space alchemical.
It's beautiful. I love that. He really is just this angelic presence. I mean, you'll feel his presence in your, I want to say energetic field, right? And so just to open up to that. And I know, as I mean, I work with people around the world, and it's like, it doesn't really matter where you are physically. I mean, it's great to be like physically like touch the person, right? But like the energy is transferred through all time and space. So it's really beautiful to be able to use Zoom to actually see and hear each other. But even beyond that, at times that you're not working, you can still feel the energy shift, right? It's just, I can feel how you do that, Jonathan. Like it opens people up, to that I am presence, but through the activations. It's just very cool. It's very cool. And having the book as a guide, so it's like, the book is there, and then the coaching or either readings you're calling basically the intuitive healing even it's the practical application, and so it really is such a gift to have both, it's really awesome.
Yeah, it really is. And then like you said, it's outside of time and space. When you maintain that intention, right? Because intuition is very intentional. It needs to be directed in intentional ways. So when you hold that intention of love,
yeah,
it transcends time and space. It really does.
Yeah.
There's no division. There's no mountain between us. There's no ocean between us that can stop that connection.
I love it. I love it. What's that song, like Ain't No Mountain High Enough? That song?
Yeah.
I mean, it's infinite love. And I remember when Jonathan and I connected, there's this song called Higher Love. And it's like, it lifts it up, right? It's this constant place of like, when you're in your I am presence, you're constantly being lifted up, right? And I remember when he first did his mentor stuff, like it would literally come on Pandora. I'd be like, hey, Jonathan, do you hear Higher Love? Like, right before a session. It would just be amazing how the energy starts like lining up around you, right? So as you do this transformational process, you'll notice how your life shifts because you're matching different things now, right? So you move into this higher love, your business, your personal life, things start to shift. So that's the beauty of doing the work, and opening up, working with Jonathan and having that ability to experience yourself that way. And he's done so much of his own work. To me, that's like the sign of a great teacher, right? Like really walking it and being in integrity, living that way himself. So I'm just excited for more people to work with you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a tremendously challenging journey. To be honest, it's been very difficult as far as health wise. And I started writing myself letters in my pocket just as I was at work. I'm working mowing the grass, or I'm painting a room, just scribbling these things down in my pocket, right? And just carrying with me so that I could remember. That's where the book really started, so I could remember the communication through communion that I was receiving. It really is sacred communion, communication at its essence. And I didn't know I was writing a book at the time. I really didn't. And it's amazing where it takes you when you're open, when you ask, when you're in alignment, and when you want to shift, when you desire to shift, because you can really move mountains. You can take anything and transform it.
Yeah, I was just feeling that. And in this moment, I was just feeling the presence of the heart where you started us, right? Just really that I am presence. The heart is that center point. And then you are guided in love and in lightness. Is that your dog? He's feeling it, right?
Yeah, that's Mr. Apollo. Yeah.
So cool. Love it. Love it. I know it's so funny that during like sessions, dogs are always coming closer. They're like, we want the love.
He was over there napping, and he decided to come over and say hi.
Love it.
They're so sweet. I mean, animals carry this vibration of unconditional love, right? You could just look in an animal's eyes, and it'll outpour love to you.
I love it. Is there anything else you want to add? Anything that just comes to you in this moment at all?
Just to find that center point within you, really, that anchor of your intuition, the presence that's guiding you at every moment, right? It's an orchestration beyond your comprehension. And sometimes we try to comprehend it through the logical mind, and we end up confusing ourselves more. So it really is a surrender to the enormity of life, of creation, and letting it flow into you and through you, right? It needs to go somewhere. If you open, because you can open to this infinite love and light and let it pour into you, but it's really in the extension, right? That's another pyramid. That's the last pyramid of the journey, is extend. How do I extend this gift? How do I extend this love that's pouring in for creating likewise as that comes in, right?
Yeah, I love it. Allowing it. And I think naturally, as we feel the love within, our natural expression is to give, is to share it, is to extend it. So, just allowing yourself to share that love.
Yeah. And if you have something that you want to express, to do it, right? Don't hold on to it. And sometimes we don't know how to do it, and that's why you walk me through, I walk you through. We mentor each other, right? So I'm here to guide you through that creative expression, to bring it into physical embodiment here on the planet, so that it can help people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm trying to think, is there any other like blocks or challenges you feel like you've been able to overcome through this process, right? That you've, like you talk about your journey, which so beautifully, transparently, hasn't always been easy. So how have you been able, I love the little pocket notes, but how else have you been able to kind of feel those challenges and work through them? And is there anything you want to share about your ability to alchemize your own life?
I really do believe it's to seek that the message behind everything in your life. If you're going through a rough time, there is a message there, right? There is something there for you to look at and to integrate within your life. And I also, it's just to be perseverant, like just to stay on your path, even if it doesn't look, even if you can't see that light right now. I mean, there's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of confusion, and if you can't see it, it doesn't mean that it's not there, right? Just come back to that space where you're open to possibilities to flow into your life and be open to that change manifesting in your life. It really does require a lot of dedication to be able to look at these things.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I love that. I just love your honesty and integrity, right? Like, hey, this is real, like let's look at it and let's move through it.
Yeah, it really is hard. It's difficult. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. I
Mhm.
mean, there's, you can call it shadow. You can call it, just another expression of creation that needs to be transformed, right? And it really does take strength and perseverance to want to look at those things and and shift them so that you can expand in the light of your own knowingness. That's really
Mhm.
what it is. Everything that you walk through in life is an initiation to know yourself better, right? To know yourself as love, as the light, as joy, peace, beauty, harmony, to know yourself.
So beautiful. Love that. Let's see. Anything else you want to share about really coming into your own presence through intuition? So, your process of kind of waking up to your gifts. How did you experience, oh, wow, there is something coming through me as this loving expression for you to be able to kind of hear it? And I use the word channel, but, kind of bring it forth and through you.
Mhm. Well, my initial, hey, there's something larger than me that is coming through me that I recognize as communication came from, despair. It came from moments where I felt hopeless and where, walking through autoimmune diseases that are debilitating and just looking for ways to transform my life by moving forward. And I recognize now it's a step-by-step journey, right? You take little steps. It doesn't happen overnight. It really does take little steps, diligence, forming a daily devotion. First thing in the morning, have your coffee. Send gratitude out to God, the universe, the source of life that's within, and really cultivating a practice that you have to be persistent with. Right? It's just like tending to your garden. If you don't tend to it, it's just gonna, the fruit's gonna fall off the vine. It's gonna sit there and rot on the ground. You really need to be the master of your own garden, right?
I love that. So beautiful. I have this like prosperity plant, those jade plants, and they actually mean prosperity. So it's really cool. It's in my kitchen. And I noticed lately some of the leaves are falling off like a little bit faster, but they actually crystallize. When the leaf falls, it
Mhm.
literally crystallizes. It's the coolest thing. And so it's like, it just makes me think of tending, right? Tending to your home within you, tending to your physical home, to everything, your relationships, like really being aware how everything is impacting everything, right? But I love what you're saying, starting with your own energy and being clear, and I want to say clean in that, right? Like in the light, pure. We've used that word before, just pure, pure light, pure love, and again, letting that be the energy of transmutation, right? Transformation.
Mhm. Mhm. And it's beautiful about that plant. When it falls, it crystallizes because I do believe, having walked the journey that I did, that when you fall, when you get knocked down, it's an amazing opportunity to rise back up, right? To not stay down, because it's easy to stay down, but it's really, to get back up, to keep going, and see that as an opportunity. See that as your crystalline moment, right? A shining moment to transform yourself.
That's cool. And one of the energies that I use in the intuitive success coaching process is non-judgment and unconditional love. And the reason I'm laughing and smiling is because I personally have a hard time doing that for myself. I can do it for the entire world, but I do know that is the absolute energy of transformation, to have non-judgment and unconditional love, because without it, we can't survive. Like, love is the universe. Love is you. And so the moment we judge ourselves or another, and I've been guilty of this too, I'm certainly not perfect, but we literally cut ourselves off from source. We cut ourselves off from ourselves and each other. So whatever you can do, and I invite everybody, and I'll do it with you, because like I said, this is my personal practice, to bring in the energy of unconditional love and non-judgment. So we'll go one by one, if that's okay with you, Jonathan, because I know we're kind of co-creating this show together. So are you good with us doing some anchors? You want to do one and I'll do the other one? You want to anchor one?
I feel great about this. Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do the first one. I'll do unconditional love, because I think I can do that better than non-judgment. And if you want to do the non-judgment one, that would be great. But let's do unconditional love. So the way that NLP works, just like we talked about, is we're going to shift the energy. So we're going to use the subconscious mind and all of our five senses. So your subconscious mind will connect through each of your five senses of taste, sound, sight, smell, and feeling, right? And you'll also get an intuitive sense. It's pretty fascinating. I remember multiple times I'll be down, walking down the street, and I'll actually smell something. So you have that sensation of smell, but it's also connecting to that higher intuition of, like, even though the smell's not in the air, you're smelling it intuitively. Does that make sense? Like, you're on such a higher place that even if it's not in the air, you still can smell it. Okay. So let's just move through this unconditional love. I'm getting excited because I just love this work. It's so fun. So everybody, if you're in a safe place, just like Jonathan's doing, and we're both doing, putting our hands at our heart, bringing in that awareness at the center point of our heart. Closing your eyes if you're in a safe place to do so. I recommend both feet on the ground, allowing just that energy of pure light to flow from the top of your head, down through every cell of your body, straight down to your feet, imagining roots going out the bottom of your feet, connecting you to the core of the earth, pure light and love, letting that energy come back up through your feet, your legs, straight to your heart and to your hands. And as you do, allow an image to come to your mind that represents unconditional love for you. Just see that image. And go ahead and, just keeping your hands at your heart, allow that to be the kinesthetic anchor, feeling. Seeing this image of unconditional love, allow your sense of smell to start to open, taking in a deep breath, noticing what unconditional love smells like. Breathing it in. And if you were to notice what unconditional love tastes like, go ahead and bring that to mind. Tasting it now. And continuing to breathe this unconditional love into every cell of your body. Noticing if it was a sound, what would unconditional love sound like? Just hearing that unconditional love. And notice if you were to feel unconditional love at an origin point in your body, where would that unconditional love start? So for me, I notice I can feel it pooling at my belly. So just notice where it does for you. And then allow a color to come to mind that actually carries that energy of unconditional love. Let's go ahead and bring it from the top of your head down through the bottom of your feet. So wherever it's starting, let it move up the top of your head, down to the bottom of your feet. And let's just apply unconditional love into any and all areas of your life, your body, relationships, work, business. And notice how just that energy alchemizes it, changes it, transforms it. Again, bringing in that color, I'm seeing purple, which is fascinating because Jonathan was using that earlier. So just notice what that color is. And then whenever that feels complete, you can gently open your eyes and notice how you feel, and know that anytime you bring your hands to your heart, you can feel this unconditional love. And then for the non-judgment piece, we'll find a different way to anchor it. So the kinesthetic anchor happens when you basically say, hey, unconscious mind, every time I do this, every time I put my hands at my heart, I feel unconditional love. Every time I bring my thumb and middle fingers together, I feel, non-judgment, or whatever it is that we anchor. It sends a message from your brain to your body to say, every time this happens, I feel this. I love that your dog walked into the room, because it's like, I use that Pavlov's dog analogy, where every time the dog sees a dish, he knows it's time to eat. So it's the same thing with your body. Every time I do this, your brain says, oh yeah, now I feel this, right? So do you want to anchor unconditional love for everybody? No pressure, but go for it if you want.
You did that already. You did unconditional love already.
Oh, non-judgment. Non-judgment. I'm so in the unconditional love, I don't even know what I'm saying. See, I channel it, but non-judgment. Do you want to do it, or do you want me to anchor non-judgment? It's funny. I don't even I can't even think of this part of my brain. I'm just in my heart space.
I know, it's like a different form of communication. It's like a different part of your brain is activated. But yeah, I just want to echo. I mean, I feel that, right? That unconditional love it's very peaceful. And as I close my eyes and receive that gift, I see the light amplifying around me. I felt that grounding of my feet, connected with the earth. And I really just thought it came to my mind, like non-judgment and unconditional love, they're tied together, right? They're married together. Because when you're not judging, you are in that unconditional space, right? You're not judging anything.
Well, honestly, you're kind of out of your mind, like what I just did. I was I said unconditional love when I meant to say non-judgment. I literally couldn't even access my brain, because I'm pretty sure that judgment only comes from our brain. I'm pretty sure that our heart, if we're truly in our heart, truly, it just knows unconditional love. So that's why I'm kind of laughing that I think it was on purpose that I actually said unconditional love instead of non-judgment, because really our mind, right? We all have a mind, is the only thing I believe that separates. And that's the judgment. It's a judgment piece.
Yeah, it really is. And what comes to mind too is the mind needs to be under the command of the heart, not the other way around, right? The mind doesn't call the shots. The mind is beautiful. The mind is creative, but the heart needs to command it, right? I call it the kingdomship of the heart. It needs to command the kingdom from here. And when you go to places of conditions or judgment, you're going from here, you're bypassing, right? Like I showed earlier, it's a circle, it's not a spiral. Like love spirals up. Conditions, they circle up to the mind.
Sorry, the reason I went like that is I was in meditation, and I think, I'm not sure if we were airing live before we did this or not, but I had said, hey, did you meditate 2 hours ago? And you're like, yeah, because I felt you enter the energetic field. And the reason I'm telling you this is I did that. We connected to that pyramid of presence, I am presence, and I watched my energy spiral up. I literally had that experience. We didn't even talk in that moment, but I went into that energy, and that's exactly what happened. It spiraled up. It's very cool. So proof in the pudding, guys, it works. We didn't even know till 2 hours later. And I was like, hey, did you feel me in meditation? Right? Really cool.
It really is. And all it takes for that to happen is a willingness from you, right? To show up, to allow it to happen. Like, we didn't orchestrate that. We didn't say, I'm going to be there 2 hours before the
Right.
show. You're going to meditate. I'm going to meditate. And we're going to like mind power each other. Right. That didn't happen.
Right.
It,
Yeah. And to your point of everything being interconnected, I think this was before we went live. I said, hey, when I woke up, I literally watched the light enter my house. It came straight down and it like connected with a painting that I have and went straight to me. And I was like, oh, I need to wake up and align. Right. So something from a higher place of light and love came in, aligned the presence. We felt it, shared it 2 hours later, and now on the show 3 hours later, right? And so we're going to be moved into alignment with the light as we listen with the heart. So I'm still curious about the non-judgment thing. I really want you to anchor it.
well, I just want to say, like, yeah, it took for us to just be, right. That's another pyramid in the book, is to allow yourself to just be, to meditate and not have to like think that you have to clear your mind. It's more about, bringing in these reinforcements of love and light, bringing in the positive balance, the weighing beam. If you're feeling negative thoughts, if you're feeling negative emotions, to apply love to it, to balance it. I would love to, because you've done the NLP. I'm not, that's you. If you want to do the NLP non-judgment, we could apply that violet flame of freedom as we do it, and just hold that color as we let Abby run us through the non-judgment.
Okay. All right, let's do it. So do you want to bring in the violet flame first or just kind of intermittently do that?
Yeah, I believe it's already been brought in, but we can bring it in. We could speak. Could say, I am the violet flame in action. All it takes is a few words, a few intentional words, and if everybody says this together, I am the violet flame in action. I can transform this energy. It doesn't need to be stuck. It can be released. And then you could literally just close your eyes and imagine, you could just imagine the room being filled with that beautiful color. Let it saturate your being. And you could hold it at that sacral chakra space where the pyramid of clean is. And as Abby walks us through, just hold that with your hands and with your intention.
So beautiful. I feel that as you brought that in. I felt it just transform my body, and any energy of negativity that I was holding there, I felt it just, like you said, kind of clean it, clear it out, and peace, right? Moving from a sensation that I was feeling into just peace and calm. So as we all feel that transformation, let's go ahead and bring our thumb and our middle fingers together. It's kind of like a mudra, actually. And just again, let's bring in that beautiful white golden light through the crown of our head, down through our heart, core, feet, and just allow an image to float into your mind of non-judgment. What it would be like to not have judgment for yourself and for another. What's an image that represents that? And then taking a deep breath in, notice if that non-judgment was a smell. What would it be? And then noticing if it was a taste, what would it be? And if you can just notice what you would hear, non-judgment, if it was a sound, and it could even be silence. And then notice where you feel the energy strongest of non-judgment in your body. Let that energy start to move from that area all the way through the top of your head, down through the bottoms of your feet. And let's just put you in a golden egg, so a transparent golden egg, but let it just be contained within you as that perfect embodiment of this light. And for me, the image actually was light. Non-judgment was light. So let's just, in that golden egg shape, feel what it feels like to be embodied in that presence of pure light and unconditional love and non-judgment. Just notice. You may want to bring your hands to your heart. I'm noticing I go there as soon as I said unconditional love. My hands naturally went there, which is so beautiful because it shows how I perfectly program my subconscious mind to go to unconditional love. You'll notice how you'll naturally start doing things when you program yourself to love. You will flow into it. You will fall into it, right? Because your body's like, oh yeah. And your mind's like, oh yeah, this feels so good. Thank you, right? So you move into that. So just feeling that presence and now seeing your life through the eyes of love. Notice how you can see, wow, it almost makes me cry, your own life as the beautiful perfection that it is from love. To me, it's the eyes of God, right? The eyes of love through you as you interconnected to all in this oneness. Let's take 3 deep breaths in if you'd like to join me in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And with this next breath, let's just send love to each other. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then whenever you feel ready, you can gently blink open your eyes, come back to the room. Notice how the room might feel a little softer. You bring in more presence. Your heart might feel a little more open. Your mind might feel a little more calm. Your body will probably feel more peaceful. Just notice. And the word namaste comes to mind, creating the presence within all. Yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, and with the hands like this, you're holding yourself, right? You're holding yourself in non-judgment for your journey, right? To not judge mistakes, not judge things that you may have said in error, or not judge circumstances, but really hold yourself in that space of I'm here on a journey, of initiation for my soul growth, right? And everything matters. Everything that I go through matters.
So beautiful. So well said. I love it. Love it. Love it. I usually have call-in times, but we actually ran out of time. We talked so much. If somebody wants to call in the next 3 minutes, they can. You can call 858-692-4555. Other than that, we're probably going to wrap up. Is there anything you want to share and kind of let the audience maybe walk away with, Jonathan?
Time flies when you align in love, is what just came through.
Beautiful. I love that. Ah, so beautiful. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. It's just such a pleasure, such a joy. And Jonathan, if you want to just share your email one more time, because I know they can also get the book that way. So if you can share that so they can get the book as well, that'd be great.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. The book's going to be released very shortly, sometime during February. You can email me at jwalchemical.com or jwalchemical@gmail.com to stay updated. I will email you I'll email you the link where you can purchase it when it's available.
Perfect. Awesome. Yay. Well, thank you so much. And everybody have a beautiful day. May you just embody your I am presence and just keep expanding your light and extending it to everyone you meet. All right. See
Namaste.
you. You too.